There's one song, or maybe two, one especially. No, it's the last one. It's the Marshall Terrace. It's one you can read. And you know, that's actually how it comes from the Someone, please.
Sorry, I'm in the right spot.
We'll get swallowed off. Just throwing that out there now.
For tonight until we get people situated.
I used to say back when we were doing those blank sheets like more consistently, I was like, I would say like, oh, if you don't want to like, you gotta get honest with you, like, have this car, don't watch that car.
Oh yeah, I started to say
Current due date is September 11th, but also they're measuring larger than we originally thought, so maybe a little bit like within a week. Yeah, early September. Mandy said we have a pool, and she's gonna be like, yeah. so if it's not for that, she would be frustrated. She's like, we got the pool, and it's okay. That's what I've heard. Everyone who we've talked to, when we say the timeline, they're like, ooh, summer. I'll just try to be as accommodating as possible. I squeezed every lemon by jar. I didn't even use the like. Hello, everyone. We're going to start. Hi. We're going to start playing momentarily. We will start with the chorales, which I realize there's many new faces. You may not have those, so if there's one near you, you can kindly look off of them, assuming it's the same instrument, and then let the folks around you know, specifically the section managers. Raise your hand real quick if you're a section manager.
Actually, could you stand up if you're a section manager so everyone can see your face?
they don't really need to see
They might have to identify you later.
Oh no.
So if you're missing any parts, if you don't have a chorale, these things, they will be our first point of contact for you, so that it makes it back to those who are printing parts for us, or managing the library for us, and also so things don't slip through the cracks, because I do my best to remember everything that's said to me over the course of a Monday evening, but it's a lot of things, and I forget many of them. So I don't want to do that to you. The other thing I was going to say is, as a lead off to the announcements, we're going to start with announcements, but I just want to say congratulations on a really, really exceptional performance. Not this past Saturday, but the weekend prior. It was really something special, and I hope you all, those of you who participated in it, I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. So, with that being said, I'll get up on the podium and talk more in a minute, but I'm going to hand off to John.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so first of all, speaking of chorale music and finding things that you might need that you don't have copies of, on our website, which I realize on this teeny tiny phone, you can't really see it well, there is now a black button that says log in or sign up, and you can put in your email and sign up. Miranda, our webmaster, will then approve you, and then you can actually log in and see the calendar of all of our rehearsals and performance dates, as well as all of the music that you should have in your folder available for downloaded print at any time. So, for example, I don't think we have the chorales in the box this time, just the new music. So if you needed to get a copy of that, you can pop online and do that. If for whatever reason, after a couple of days, you still haven't gotten access to it, Miranda's pretty quick, but if she doesn't recognize your email or setup or something, or if you're new, just email the info at Oaklawn Band email and let us know, and we'll approve you. But that way you should be able to have instant access to the music anytime it's added or changed. That's important because we have one piece that we don't have printed tonight called March Militaire. We had some scanning issues that we're trying to get corrected so we can all read the music. That might be helpful. When it's done, if you want to get a jump start on it, you can see it in that folder. For example, if you're like me and you commit to practicing and then, just never find the time for it, you can have it at home. With that being said, about our last concert, personally, that was really hard for me. I don't know if anyone else felt that way, but it was really hard, but it sounded great, and apparently people must have enjoyed it because our thermometer on our fundraising shot up. We now have $2,207 out of $6,000 saved for Pride. So we earned almost $1,500 at our concert. Yeah, no, that was a really muted response. Let me clarify. We typically get about 400 to 500 per concert, so we got 3 times that much this time. Okay, all right. Much better, much better. There are a couple of fun little band administration things to let you all know about. We're supposed to have general meetings of the band in which all of you get a peek into what the board does on a monthly basis, and we review the fun and thrilling things like the band budget and how we plan events and what we're going to do for elections and the band bylaws. It's really fun, I promise. That's going to be April 10th in rehearsal. So after the break, when we come back, we will all already be here. We'll hold a meeting. It'll be cool and official, and we'll do things like ask for quorum, and everyone who's paid dues will raise your hand, and you get to vote, and it'll be fun, and you'll feel like you're in school UN again, okay? But we will be taking you through all of the different roles of the board, kind of what we've been doing with the budget, where our expenses are, what they cost us, how we'd like to grow the band. Come with any questions you might have. If you want us to be prepared for them, though, at any point in time between now and the 10th, please come find me, and I will write your question down so that we can address it at the meeting. We will be approving this year's revisions to the bylaws. That one's kind of important, so I'll be sending those out to the entire band by email sometime this week once we've had a final chance to review it in our committee. And then you'll have a week to come into the committee meeting and tell us what you think. That's next Thursday. We'll answer any questions there, and then we'll vote on them in the official band meeting. I know it's thrilling. Stay with me, though. Where this is all going is that we have about 15 volunteer positions total that the band could use on a regular basis, people filling in and doing. So I would love for you all to take a look at those when we meet to see if there's any of those that sound close to something you might be able to do. The board will all be up for re-election. So if you're interested in perhaps learning more about one of those roles, you can talk to current board members about what they do. For example, if you want to know what the secretary does, Michael, can you stand up? Yeah, you can talk to Michael. If you want to know what the treasurer does, Josh, you stand up. Yeah, all right. If you want to know what the vice president does, Ellen, yeah, hey, Ellen. If you want to know what marketing or PR, yeah, Caitlin, yeah. Caitlin's awesome. Who am I forgetting? There's more. Membership, just kidding. If you want to know all about membership, you can talk to Leah Beth. We have a couple positions that are vacant. If you want to know about those, you can just ask any of us. That is most everything that's important on my end. You guys probably have stuff though.
How does one qualify to vote at the general band meeting?
See, I slipped it in earlier for the sneaky enterprising individuals amongst you. If you've paid dues, congratulations, you get to vote. If you haven't paid dues, congratulations, you get to listen, but pay your dues so you can vote. Just FYI. Come on up.
Hello, I'm Nick. I'm doing the pet band for Oakland Band. If you are interested in doing the pet band, please let me know so I can add you to the email distribution list. We have a bunch of events happening in April. On April 6th is our wine walk performance, and hopefully it doesn't get rained out because I want it to be spectacular. So if you're interested in playing pop songs, please talk to me so that we can get a large pet band showing for that. And then the second thing we're having is the Oak Cliff Earth Day performance, which will include both the pet band and chamber ensembles. So if you're performing in the chamber concert on the 22nd, you can also perform on the 16th run in public in front of people. If you're interested in both of those events, please talk to me. If you're interested in one of those events, please talk to me so that I can get you ready to go and all the information you need for that. That's all I have.
All right. Let's go to chorale number 5, please. Wow. All right. Here we go. Again, no stress if you don't have it in front of you tonight. We're going to spin through it once. We will continue to do chorale number 5 throughout this concert series, this concert prep. So just you can sort of plan for that. And let's take it from the top. Starts with horns and alto saxophones. Cool. All right. Like I said, we'll do that one more throughout this series. So I could have read this to you before, but while you're getting Longford Legend up, go ahead and listen to what the composer has to say about that chorale. Chorale number 5 uses harmony based primarily in fourths. It emphasizes listening with the perfect fourth predominating and dynamic musicality. I don't know if you saw it, but there's some sort of dynamic change just about every measure, if not every other measure. And so we'll really explore that in the coming weeks. I haven't explicitly said it in like many rehearsals, but one thing that I have noticed as the ensemble gets larger, and that's not just unique to this group, but any group I've ever played in anyway, is you lose dynamic contrast, not only like the extremes, like how loud and how soft you can get, but also like the momentum, or like the dynamic response. So like if there's a crescendo and everyone's playing softly, for whatever reason, when there's a big group, there's just like this hesitation to get there, and then obviously kind of goes without saying that getting softer, if it happens at all, is generally like pretty uneven. It either is like it suddenly happens and people drop out, or it never quite gets there. So what I want to explore in that, and we could do this during the reading rehearsal and the pieces as well, is really reading around the notes, seeing those dynamic markings, and simultaneously thinking not only about like the absolute dynamic, like it's forte, and forte means loud, but also the relative dynamic, as in how much have I been forte? What are the other dynamics around it? Has it been like triple F and now it's only forte? Or has it been like pianissimo and now it's forte? And then finally, is my part forte and a very, very repetitious part, or is it forte and it says like cantabile or soli or something that might suggest that that part should come out of the texture a little bit? So, with that being said, let's begin our reading rehearsal with Longford Legend. We'll go straight through as much as possible. And yeah, let's do a tuning pitch. Thank you. It's almost like it goes on. Can we do one for horns, horns and euphoniums? Louder, a little bit. Okay. All right. And also you can continue to adjust as we go. So if you feel like maybe you're out, you can test one way or another and trial and error. If you can't tell, obviously if it gets worse, you went the wrong way. Okay, beginning. Here we go. Starts with a pickup into the first full measure. So you will see this, but don't play. Bum, ba-da-da-da-da, bum, 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 bum. Here we go. It'll go a little faster than that. Not by much. Moving right along, Young Molly Vaughn. We've got a, is it flute? Yeah. Flute solo, measure 1, clarinet solo, measure 2. Also says horn solo in measure 1 as well. So those two, the horn kind of like lays this sort of like harmonic foundation underneath flute. And then there's an extended alto saxophone solo that starts pickups into 76. Here we go. Do we need more time? I'm sorry. I know, I balked. Okay, here we go. Here's 84. Yeah, in general on this movement, we will push and pull tempo a little bit more as you become more familiar with how it goes. It's tough, but get your eyes out of the stand as much as you can. Or like pro tip, if you're not comfortable with that, put your stand in a place where you don't have to get your eyes off the stand and you can still see me anyway. If your stand's like way down here, I've noticed like as I do more, like as I've gotten further along in my professional life and I'm doing more like music that I've just played over and over again, my music's way down here and I like kind of look at it sometimes. But if I'm playing something new, I really, and if it's technical, I really need it to like be looking at it a lot. Personally, I think some of you are better about this than I am, like reading ahead. But having that further up and in line, like where the music is directly between you and me, kind of allows for you to use your periphery when we're going through, so you can sense those changes. Let's continue on. Third movement. Starts only with clarinet 1. On purpose at Poco Tolerando after measure 260, so 260, 61, 62, 60, 264, there's a Poco Tolerando. 272 is Piumoso, so it'll be, notably faster there. But we won't speed up from 272 to the end. So whatever tempo we arrive at 272 will be like the tempo there. Cool. Yeah, that's the piece. You take it to concert. All right, to contest. How many of you played this in like middle school or high school? I know I did, at least once. Yeah, okay, just curious. Cool. How many of you played it otherwise, like after middle school and high school? Okay, fewer of you. Cool. All right, we're gonna move on to the next piece, which is Sondheim, with an exclamation point. And as we're doing this, if there's anything that you need to like mention to your section manager or want to come to talk to me afterwards, maybe make a note of it so that you remember, and then we will also remember. So, cool. Sondheim is next. Are you guys old? I'm really old. I thought maybe it was because it's getting but I have no idea. No, because it's propped open. If it starts getting too cold in here for anybody, let me know. I'm assuming it was open so it doesn't get too hot, but I can close that or close it partly if anyone's freezing. How are we doing over here in Horns? Is it too cold? No? Okay, cool.
We're gonna have a whistle.
Okay, yeah, I know. It's been a long time since I've actually heard the music from the musical.
It's actually pretty important.
All right, as we're getting situated right before we start, this is the only. This is the only I'm drawing a blank. Why is my brain? What do you call it when you have a collection of tunes?
Medley.
Thank you. Wow, I like the word ballad came to mind. I was like, that's not what this is, because it's Ballad of Sweeney Todd. This is the only medley on the concert. One big thing with medleys is we're changing styles somewhat rapidly, and more importantly, there's going to be lots of key changes and lots of meter changes and lots of tempo changes. So just make sure that you're reading ahead as much as you can, watching up here as much as you can, and we'll all get through it together. So starts out relatively quickly. 2 beats per measure, 6/8 time. It's marked in the score at 132 beats per minute. So. I'm sorry, is that too fast? Probably. $132 is what I've got it marked at. That's pretty close to that anyway. I was accurate to the score, but to the musical, I don't know. We'll go easy on it. Here we go, from the top. Horns, saxes, low brass, clarinets, except for clarinet 1. But everybody's in. Here we go. Yeah, we won't slow down that much. I don't think we all made it that far together. Oh. Let's take it all the way back to the top. We'll take another stab at that first section. There is a polka rallentando in measure 53, where we just got to. It's just polka. It's just a small rallentando, and then we're gonna go half note equals about 120, so it'll be cut time, and it's still gonna be in 2, but instead of having a triple feel, it's a duple feel. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and so on. All right. Beginning, one more time. Watch those dynamics. Really make the double and triple Fs pop and make everything else relaxed. Here we We'll work on transitions later, but let's start right at 55 in a new key and in cut time instead of in 6/8. Bump, 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 bump. Or in piccolo, flute, oboe, in second measure. Ba, ba, bum. All right, 55, right on it. 55, right on it. New key with 5 flats if you're reading in concert pitch. Here we go. In 4. Yeah, sorry. There's a molto, that's my fault, I should have been clearer. But there's a molto rallentando 3 before 103. We'll stay in 2 for the first 2 measures of that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 60 beats per minute. So it really slows down a whole lot. Go ahead right now, if you would please, and mark in your music 1 before 103, also known as measure 102, is going to be in 4. And then at 103, we're in 3/4 time, but still the quarter note's getting the beat at that point. Let's get into that, please. We won't go too far back, so let's go before 103. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars, where everyone has fortissimo. Ba, 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 bum, 2. So 6 before 103. Here we go. Yeah, and then and I'm sorry, in that solo, it's slowing down. Ba ba da da 1 2 1 2. I will mark that and see what I want to do. I might give you each of those 8 notes. I might subdivide it. But for now though, let's take it at 123. 123. By the way, in case you missed it, 12/8 we're doing it in 4. 9/8 we're doing it in 3. So 12/8 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4, and then 9/8 would be a 3 pattern. And the only difference between that and like 4/4, 3/4 is that we're subdividing each beat into 3 parts instead of 2. 123, please. 123. Here we go. Add a key change. Yeah, we will work on that. I'm gonna, like I said, you have to kind of keep going through it and let me do the stretching, but I'll figure out what's gonna make the most sense. Again, for now, we're gonna start at 129 and sort out translations later. Transitions, wow. 129, in cut time. Right on it. Here we go. I can do better. Here we go. Start subdividing like quarter notes and eighth notes in your mind as we're going. Because in that first measure, you're just going to hear triangle play 2 beats. Ding, ding, da 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 da. There you go. trumpets and trombones do have, on beat 3 of the second to last measure, do have triplets. Da 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 da, ba 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 ba. So don't be afraid there. So much to work on this piece. I'm very excited for that. But it is a reading rehearsal, so I would like us to move right along. And for the next 2 pieces, please welcome none other than our Assistant Artistic Director, Nick Nunley, to the podium.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. So the next 2 pieces we're going to do are YMCA and Down a Country Lane. 2 entirely different pieces of music, which I'm super excited about. YMCA, I don't know if you've heard of the song, but super cool pop arrangement of this piece of music. It has a lot of jazz elements, so we'll be focusing a lot on articulations and style in this one. The cool thing about this pop arrangement of it is that it's not cheesy. And there's a lot of difficult and challenging rhythms in this one that we'll dig into once we start playing it. And there's also a little bit of choreography that goes along with it. In the playlist that Mark sent out, you can watch a video that's really awesome of a really cool performance of this, where there's soloists, a little bit of an ensemble in the middle of it, and then some dancers as well. So if you are a brave person that wants to do the YMCA dance, please hit me up and I will love to have you come up and perform it for the audience.
You know, the audience do it.
All right. There are a lot of notes in the woodwind parts for this, so we are going to take it a lot under tempo tonight, and then eventually it'll get a lot faster. There is drum set and a lot of upbeat stuff, so good luck. And then there is a trumpet solo and a trombone solo part. We won't do it tonight so that I can give people time to think about whether or not they want to do trombone or trumpet solo improv, but not tonight. All right, cool. Let's start at the beginning. It starts with pickup and drum set, and then we keep on going. So I'll give you 3 at the beginning. We're not going to go too fast, Jordan. All right, here we go. I'll give you 3. And 1, 2, 3. So we repeat back to, I think that was letter C, correct? Yeah.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet, not yet.
It's after 10.
Oh, yeah, never mind, never mind. Yeah, it's a long first ending. Sorry, the lines are blurred on my part. Cool, cool. Otherwise, Nice job with a lot of this stuff. Let us start at letter E now. E now. This is our trombone solo part. And there's a lot of tricky rhythms and a lot of scoops and a lot of high notes. So good luck, trombones. It's gonna take a lot of workshopping, but I know you can do it. Okay, here we go. Let's try it at letter E, please. And then once we finish the trombone solo part, we take it back to letter C for the repeat. Here we go. E. 1, 2, right on E, set, ready, M. Letter M. Great job. Okay. Did we all make it to letter G? Awesome. At letter G is where the solo part for the trumpet and trombone happens. So the first time it is trombone solo, and then the second time, once we finish repeat, it will be a trumpet solo. We will not do that tonight. But some parts in our music say second time only, so only play that part second time only once we do it. All right. For the most part, letter G is unison. So listen to your neighbor, don't play louder than them, try and match the articulation and intensity that everyone is playing at letter G. Here we go, let's try it out, letter G please. 1, 2, and letter G, ready, M. 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yes, that was exactly right. Okay, so once we get to letter H now, this is our small ensemble that's happening. It's really cool. It starts with oboe pickups, one measure before letter H. And then after oboe pickups, we have a first clarinet solo. Once those two parts are happening, we then have an alto solo, 3 measures next. And then after the alto solo, we have a horn solo that adds in, as well as a flute solo. So it's like a small little ensemble of little bit of people playing, and then we have more people starting to come in at letter I. Cool. Let us start 4 measures before letter H, please. 4 before H. There we go. And 4 before H. 1, 2, ready, M. Key change. 4, 5 measures. Everyone comes in on beat 2, unless you are a tuba, bass trombone, or a bassist. You come in on beat 1, and the ending is 2 and 1 and rest. 2 and. All right, and if you have a lot of 16th notes, they happen starting on beat 3 of the last or third to last measure. And then if you are a horn, there's a bunch of gliss. They wrote out the gliss for you, so you know what notes you're aiming for. But it's essentially just a bunch of noise. So, yeah. Can we do just the last 5 measures one final time, and then we'll move on. Last 5. Here we go. And last 5. 1, 2, ready, and. Yes. All right. Cool. Nice first read of that one. Any brave trumpet soloist or trombone soloist for this one? Improv? Dancers, hit me up. It'll be a great time. All right. Next up, we have Down a Country Lane by an Aaron Copeland. This is the Merlin Patterson arrangement. Super old piece of band music. But it looks simple on the page, but what we can really do is make it beautiful by focusing on all the stuff around the notes, like all the dynamics, the articulations, and being able to listen to who's playing when and what's most important. This is a really gentle and delicate piece of music, so no type of aggressive playing at all, no forte at all. It's like a group ensemble type thing. So listen to your neighbor, try and match their intensity, don't be too loud at all. There's only a vibraphone part and percussion, so this is your time to shine. No percussion after YMCA. All right, let's try it out at the beginning. Right here, and then go to letter B. Nice job. So yeah, it's a really beautiful piece of music. One thing before we move on, let us hit the section before the key change one final time. Can we start at letter C, and then on that entrance where everyone starts playing, just be a little bit more gentle. It's a mezzo piano entrance. Right now we came in like we attacked the audience. Don't attack the audience. They're here for a nice listen, okay? Let's start at letter C. Be gentle. Here we go. And ready? Keep it loud. Yes. Awesome. All right. Yeah, that's going to work out perfectly fine. All right. Thank you, guys.
We're gonna take a short break.
Have one announcement.
Oh, and an announcement first.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Miranda just finished the Pride Band registration form, so I will post it on the Facebook page in the next 5 minutes. And please sign up for Pride, the Pride Parade. So if you don't know what Pride is, the Pride Parade in June is happening, and we're the headliner for it. And we need a lot of people to sign up and march and do all the fun things. So all the information will be posted on Facebook in the next 5 minutes so that you can be a part of that.
This is the Alan Ross Parade
Yes.
in June at Fair Park, and also I mean, I don't know if it's set in stone yet, but we're also planning on participating and marching in September.
Yes.
Yes. So in case you're like, oh man, I really want to do the one that's back in Oakland, well, we're gonna do that one too. So feel free to join both. And you stood up like you got an announcement.
We'll have the QR code if you don't have it on the Facebook group or you're not in the Facebook group starting next week at your table. And it's not just for marchers, it's also for anyone to come help as a band-aid, like pass out water, keep people playing from dying of heat stroke. Also, if you want to man the tables at the festival and go to the festival and have the wristband paid for you, all that kind of good stuff. Plus, if you just want a t-shirt to match the rest of the band and use during pep band, it's also a good way for us to get your shirt size. Just FYI. So, everyone fill it out, even if you're not planning on marching, just tell us what you might be interested in doing. That way we know who to contact later when we start sending out emails.
Cool. It is 8:33, not 9:51. So I'll see you back here at 8:43 for the last few pieces on this reading rehearsal.
So, for those of you who don't know, back in pick my part and the first part is I don't have enough of the breakdown. I don't have one for you. So you can have tell me about that.
No, that's 61. That should be solo.
Oh, okay. Skip to the last. Yeah, and the Stevie doesn't have a part of it, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, it's like a straight shot.
So don't be surprised if
Straight shot on And it's still September, you know, so September can be but we'll find out.
I know we keep going.
I'm dipping up really to politics a little bit. This is a lot of people were upset when I need to do a little bit more about it. But it was bad because I sort of kind of out of that historical family. So, let's see. I see the 2022 dates.
Go do your thing. Okay, gotcha. All right, so
My best friend and his wife I know there's a. I don't know. My wife's yeah, so she said she has like a list that she like. She's like, I just have to have a no, I have. Yes, I feel sick a lot. No, I've not thrown up. I'm always tired. I don't have any food. Hello, everyone. I think we're at 10 minutes, 11 minutes. Let's find our way back to our seats. And once we get situated, we'll take a couple of tuning pitches again. Concert B flat for woodwinds, concert B flat for brass. And then the first piece that we will dive into on the second half is applause. Applause after the, hang on, let's tune. All right. So we haven't on the last couple of concerts, but we historically have performed pieces, arrangements, or original compositions from band members, from Oakland band members, and one of those sort of staff arrangers, if you will, is Dave Velez. And Dave moved out of town to California and stopped playing with the group. Boo! And decided that Texas was way cooler, and so he decided to come back. Yay! And so Dave is here, and he will be coming back. Yeah, easy. Cost of living is slightly less, Not a little bit. It is not as it is. Cost of living is higher than like Iowa. A Whataburger. And so our next two pieces, so Applause, arranged by Dave Velez, and then following that will be Hymn for the Lost, original composition by Michael Eaves on bass clarinet. So premieres for both. Premiere, yes. Premiere for Applause too.
Well, no, they played it in 2014, but this is the remix.
Ah, the remix. I'll take it.
It's a lot more updated.
A lot more updated.
I think this was the second piece I wrote for the band, and now it's a little more.
There are a lot of notes.
That's how you know it's a Dave
Applause
piece.
revisited.
Yeah, he loves to make
He likes to kill us.
All right, watch your dynamic workings. I did notice as I was scanning through, especially we get further on in the piece and we have these sort of 16th note passages, and I think it doesn't. The dynamics don't follow the contour of the line like you would expect. So it's not a 2-beat crescendo, 2-beat diminuendo to go up and down the line. You crescendo all the way through that up and down, and then the high point, dynamically speaking, is that second measure when you have the groups of 4 16th notes. And so if you're a piccolo player, you don't do the crescendo, you just have the 4 16th note the groupings. So cool. All right, let's read it. We'll go as close to tempo as possible, and we'll see how it goes. You feel good about 140 in general? Okay. All right. Dynamic at the beginning is? If you play piano, yeah. All right. Here we go. There are several occasions throughout this where there's a subito piano at the beginning of a measure and a crescendo all the way up to like forte or fortissimo, just in that one measure span. So I think we could, that like as I talked about at the beginning of rehearsal, that sort of like dynamic flexibility or like momentum to get from really suddenly very, loud to suddenly very soft, and then a massive crescendo just across one bar. Those are the kind of things I want to try to cultivate this concert cycle. So we'll see if we can over-exaggerate those things just a little bit. Over-exaggerating not only the loud part, but also the soft part as well. Cool. And I think we kind of settled into a tempo that was slightly under where we started. Another general statement is as we get going on this, we'll try to keep that energy all the way throughout this piece. All right, next up is Hymn for the Lost. Hymn for the Lost. In the saxes for the first however many measures that is, it reminds me a lot of some saxophone quartet music I've played. It's like very, very, very repetitive. Fortunately for you, it's not a quartet. There are many of you covering a part. So if you want to coordinate resting or like taking breaths, like trading measures, something that will save your faces, it's gonna be a very persistent part, and yet it can't get any louder than mezzo piano throughout that entire thing. So I'm trying to remember, Michael, off the top of my head, adagio here at the beginning. This is not a metronome marking. I was thinking, bum, 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 bum. Is that about it, or do I need to go slower? A tad slower? Okay. And then in the first measure, we only have chimes. Here's a great example, like I had mentioned before. You have the first time anyone has forte is at measure 41. And it's only for 4 measures, and then we decrescendo back down to mezzo piano. And then I think the next time that's forte is like near to the end. There's this really long, there's a long crescendo that starts. I'm just kind of going through this the piece dynamically. Starts 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Measure 109. We start a crescendo that goes for many measures, and then there's like a final crescendo, like final push at the end. So in this particular case, the last measure is the loudest. Let's see if we can just save it. And even when we have forte throughout, we want the sun to come out of the clouds, metaphorically speaking, but it's not like Arizona sun in July. It's just a little bit of sun. Okay, so from the beginning. Nice and easy. have just so snare was maybe 3 or 4 measures ahead. 3 or 4 measures ahead. I'm giving a big cue at 41, and I'm giving a big cue before that in like 8 bars before that. So 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 32. Sorry, not 8 bars. So at 32, mezzo forte, many of us have been playing already, so this isn't much help to clarinets. But if you've been counting rests for an extremely long time, and I give this big downbeat and I'm looking at everybody, that's that measure. That's measure 32. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 33. Yeah, triple checking. 32 is where that happens. And then 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So like 10 bars later, 9 bars later, at measure 41, it's forte, and that's where we have the snare. And now I'm wondering, are you wanting it to be like a double or a triple roll, or do you actually want like in time with the basses? It's a little fast, but yeah. Okay, cool. All right. And so for 4 measures in snare, you're just doing that sort of roll. I would take it easy. It says forte, but maybe think like mezzo forte. And yeah, make sure if you're a woodwind player or a percussionist or a trumpet player and you've got those 30-second notes, those just fit within one beat. So let's go ahead and start, please. Let's start right at 41. Right at 41. You have a lot of notes if you have that at first, and then you've got to count 3 whole beats. And we want to resist like the tempo creep of speeding up on this. So here we go. 41. 1, 2, and ready, and go. Sorry to stop. I know it's the reading rehearsal, but I just want to point something out. What dynamic did we just arrive at there? Mezzo forte, yeah. So really, I know it's densely orchestrated or densely arranged. So we want to make sure that we're taking that into consideration. We may, as we did we'll see how it goes. But as we did, if you played in the last concert on the second movement of the Holst, we had like certain moments where we're like, okay, you know what, like some of you take a break. We'll incorporate you in once we get like one dynamic level higher. We may, we're not there yet. But let's go ahead and start again, please, at 41. Again at 41. And it is forte, right, at 41? So you're good there, but you just have to bring it down to mezzo piano a few bars later. Here we go. 41. Here we go. And listen for that long melody when it comes in. vibraphone. 2, 3. Alto sax 1. Glockenspiel. 95. Yeah, and then all right, all right. It doesn't look like a lot of music, but it really is very lengthy, and there's a lot of opportunity for. There's themes that kind of persist, but there's an opportunity to do different things with them. There's in certain sections you have a sort of like a juxtaposition of like really like smooth and flowing and delicate and peaceful, and on the other side of that, like borderline militant, right? And so we've got to be able to find how to get those to sort of interplay and sort of coexist. I think that's what creates some interest there. If you find, I think, and this goes for Dave's piece as well as for Michael's piece, these are not published by big publishing companies. If you see any typos, if you see any, like, if you have any questions, if there's anything that you're like, I can't physically do that on my instrument, maybe Michael doesn't know all the ins and outs of trombone or horn or something. And so, this is sort of an open forum in that sense. Our concert is like roughly 13 weeks away, something like that, 12 or 13 weeks. And so we've got some time still. Better to bring that to the surface sooner rather than later so we can make little tweaks and adjustments there. Cool. Very nice. Yes.
Quick question.
Yes.
We're moving right along. Is that the first time this piece has ever been played out loud?
Yes.
Woo!
All right. So there are 2 more pieces on the program as of right now. We are only playing one more tonight, and that is finale from Symphony Number 6. The March Militaire is, some of you have parts. Some of the section managers who printed for your sections, you have those parts. Others, if your sections were printed by like the sort of collective, they were not printed for you for a couple of reasons. But I had said it to somebody. We are gonna. I said we were gonna move away from the Hensley potentially to another transcriber. We are gonna stick with the Hensley, partly because that other transcriber specifically said to Dave when he talked to him, "You should play the Hensley," and so that came from the transcriber himself. And so what Dave has done so far is manually type out some of the parts that were missing altogether from the score. I know that the scans are awful. The actual print is also awful, but unfortunately that's just how it's published. I don't know why, but every Mark Hensley transcription that I've ever played of any piece has that same exact font with all the extra like staves after the piece ends. Like it's just like how it's done. I don't know why. So we will either, and I've got to work with Dave on this, but we will either have them all typed out, or we may save him a big headache and just get we're just going to do that anyway.
He's already started. Whatever he doesn't have, we have ordered.
Okay, there we go.
And there is no oboe.
There is an oboe now.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, yeah, it's just we were missing the part.
Okay.
Yeah, along with a few others. So we're not doing that one tonight, but we are doing finale from Symphony Number 6. If you'll go ahead and get that up now. These are the two. These are 2 orchestral transcriptions. The March Militaire was an actual like a flat transcription. The finale is pretty darn close. So it is a concert band arrangement, but it is not watered down. These are I think personally they're the 2 most technical pieces on the program. So let's give it a shot. Do you have a metronome marking on this one? You do, okay. Sometimes it's a surprise, but not in this case. Da 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 bum ba-dum 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 bum 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 ba-dum yum ba-dum bum bum. All right. Should we try it at that tempo? In the spirit of reading rehearsal? Yeah, all right. It means we can get out of here sooner. I'm just kidding. All right, from the top. Here we go. See you at the end. We'll be fine. can we end the concert with that? Chop-wise? What's that? In 13 weeks. Just from a like stamina standpoint, is that an okay piece for brass to end on? Okay. I'd love to end the concert with that. Not just because finale's in the title, but just it's such a great, like, powerful way to end. So, cool. All right. It is 9:18. Normally we would play one more piece right now, but we don't have it. So, if we would go ahead and I think we need to stack chairs and stands probably. So once you've got your stuff packed up, go ahead and please help out with that. And next week is not a full band rehearsal. Not a full band rehearsal. It is a chamber music rehearsal. There's only a few of them between now and April 22nd, but be on the lookout for that. If you are participating in that, you should have received emails regarding chamber. If you did not receive emails regarding chamber music, please let Nick or myself know so that we can get that taken care of. And if you have any questions about chamber music rehearsals or concert, also feel free to talk to Nick or to talk to me. Thank you all so much. Have an awesome night. See you next time. Hi, you're
I already gave it to you. I just wanted to
Actually,
Hey, Leah, Beth.
so for the new members, are you automatically sending in their email address for the new
I just put my name. I just gave you my name. I gave her my email.
No, because you have John.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I like the email.
No, I didn't.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
Thank you much, ma'am. I appreciate it.